Mashiach, Mashiach ben David. Yavo. Mashiach, Mashiach ben David. Yeah, so we're Motzi Shabbos Shira, and we just had the schus to have the Moshe Ban. This Rebbe Eliyahu didn't go, this Rebbe Eliyahu did go, but it was awesome. And the energy in this place, Shabbos Shira, was, you could feel the energy of simcha and joy. It was packed. Mashiach's coming.
Amazing.
Eliyahu Novi. It's announcing it. So we got to learn the Tanya. The Tanya, it's actually filled with Gili Eliyahu. That's the beautiful thing. It's brought down that the Rebbe of the Baal Shem was Achia ben Shlonit, and many of the Giluim, the revelations of Chassidus, comes direct from Eliyahu Novi as well. It's not just the Masorah of Chassidus. So every time we learn Motzi Shabbos, or already by Yom Rishon, it's early in the morning now, so it's still somewhat Motzi Shabbos, especially in New York, still Motzi Shabbos, where it used to be. So we're tapping into the light of Eliyahu Novi. We did the first two brochim. I had a long conversation with a big Talmud of Manis Friedman about Tanya, and he was trying to cut the whole thing into two concepts. I'm not going to say them now because it's a little bit complicated and deep. I think we need to learn more of the Tanya to really be able to encapsulate it, because we just started really. But he did explain one of the reasons there's a chiluk like between these tremendous Chochmah B'goyim Tarmin, that we have to believe that there's wisdom in the nations. Books like Stephen Covey, I don't know if you've ever read it, The 7 Habits, it's an unbelievable book.
Yeah.
I think everyone should read it. I recommend reading and bringing it to your business, bringing it to your daily life. And there's another one, Eckhart Tolle, people are very into him. These are like books of this friend of mine who very much into Rav Manis Friedman, who's also obviously a huge expert on the Tanya, recommends very much as from the nations, like the wisdom is there also.
Right.
And he holds it goes very well with Tanya. There's no contradiction. And even some of the more controversial concepts that we got from the Tanya, which according to the Tanya is not controversial, it's just MS, but to the world might not understand why we'd say certain things about the nations and stuff. But when you put it into this context of where we're learning now about the different levels of the neshama, we see we're going into territory which is the nefesh of Yisrael. We have a unique nefesh, a unique soul.
Right.
And as wise and important it is to have an open mind to different wisdoms, the nefesh of Yisrael has to also be learned, especially if we're a yid. Like the fact that most of Am Yisrael don't even know that, in this time, 2024, with all the information available, they don't know about this Masorah, this nefesh of Yisrael. We're just before Mashiach. Imagine how much harder it is to cope with everything going on without having access and in a daily way and learning about it and living it. And we're blessed. We get to learn it and we get to live it. And we just got to the climax of an important chapters of chapter Perek 2, chapter 2, Perek Sheni, about the lofty soul you can have, this high soul that you can have that can go into the lowest level levushim, clothings of body. Right. But before we go and back into that, we need to clarify again how we have all these different levels of soul. And he's going to get more in depth in it in Perek Shlishi, the third Perek. There are amazing summaries on the Tanya, which at some point maybe we'll open up online or print out some stuff or bring some, because it's good to just see the overview of what we're doing. So we don't get lost in the details, because it's a very intense read. It's not something, I don't think, like, it's just safe you can just read it superficially. I think you have to really learn it. Because it's the Torah Shabbat Ksav of Chassidus in a way, so you have to give it that proper honor. Okay, so he goes, Perek Gimel, Hine, Kol Bechinas Medrega Mesholish Edo Nefesh Ruach Neshama, Kol Ma'es Bechinas Keneged Es Sfiras Elyonis, Shnistar Shalu Mehenis Halchis L'Shtayim, Shem Sholish Imos V'Sheva Kafulos, Perish Chochmah Bina V'Das, V'Shima Yemei Binyan Chesed Gevurah Tefes Netzachod Yisod Malchus. So we just started a new week, so we're in that Bechina and the Bechina of Chesed, I suppose. If it's going towards the 7 days of building, every week has a certain connection. Every Pasha, 7 Aliyahs, every concept of 7 in the Torah has a shaykhis to these spheres of the Onim, even the Makkos, the Esadibris. I would say even the 7 habits of Stephen Covey is shaykh, the 7 spheres of the Onis, and I've actually written a book about it, and I've even made a course about it. So that's how much I believe it. But no, that's controversial a little bit, taking a non-Jewish sefer.
12 steps of
bringing it. 12 steps also, I think, if you wait to bring it to fit the pattern of 10 instead of 12.
Right.
But yeah, this concept of 10 goes through everything. Haseichu kol al-chachma bina v'das, v'midas hein avas Hashem, fachto v'yiroso l'faro, chulu chabad nikro imos. I think imos is the right translation, like a mother, yeah? Is that right?
I feel like
the mothers, yeah? V'makor l'midas ki midas hein toldus chabad. And the midas are what comes out from the mother, that gives birth, the offspring of Chabad, of Chochmah Bina Das, which is, when we're learning Sifrei Chabad, we're learning literally the books of Chabad. So we're already touching on this concept of Chochmah Bina Das. And if you go into, there's a Nefesh, there's a Chochmah of Nefesh, there's a Chochmah of Ruach, there's a Chochmah of Neshama.
Right.
Each level, each Alamas, each of the worlds, there's a different level of Chochmah. According to that level, and within that level, there's Chochmah Shebechesed, there's Chochmah Shebegevurah.
Right.
All the way through all the Asasuris, Chochmah Shebechochmah. So you start to divide up everything into this concept of 10 and 10 and 10.
Right.
More and more detailed, more and more clear about which meter is functioning, which seichel, which level of seichel is functioning, and the seichel gives birth to these meters. And the concept is in Golos, the intellect is in exile. In exile means that Chochmah Bina Das is not fully revealed. So when you're learning about Chochmah Bina Das, you're sort of learning into a Olam Panimi, Orosh Mashiach. You're learning something that's hidden. For example, the 3 weeks of Tisha B'Av, the 3 weeks of the Bein HaMetzarim, including Tisha B'Av, and beginning with the Shavas or B'Tamaz, is Keneged Chochmah Bina Das. It's brought down in Sfarim. It's Keneged the 3 levels of Seichel, it's in Golos. And that's also the lands that we don't have access to, the surrounding Eretz Yisrael, the Moab, what's the other one? Moab and, I've forgotten the other name. There's 3 lands that we don't have access to that surround Eretz Yisrael. I don't know why I've forgotten the other ones. Remember the other 2 lands that surround Eretz Yisrael? They were daughters, one of them, the names after the daughters of Lot. Moab and, I'm just forgotten. Okay, so there's 3 lands, that we don't have access to. That's only going to have access to Lasad Lava and also connected to 3 Year Miklat. They're in those lands. I think nowadays it would be Jordan and certain lands that we don't have.
Like Jordan.
The full Shlemus of Eretz Yisrael.
Egypt.
Yeah, the full Shlemus of Eretz Yisrael. We don't have full access. We're not able to get to the Ammon. There we go. That's the other one. Moab, Ammon, and I think is we sort of hopped a little bit through Sichon. We hopped a little bit at those places. We had a little Ma'ain, Lasad Lava when we on our way to Eretz Yisrael.
Yeah.
But there's certain lands and Esav's land. There we go. Asir. We don't have full access. We had to go around it to get to Eretz Yisrael. Couldn't go through it. Only the fact that Sichon had invaded those other places sort of gave us access through his land. So anyway, but that's the journey of Am Yisrael back then, and only going to get those lands Lasad Lava, only get those levels of Seichel, Lasad Lava. They're the hidden levels of the Seichel, and those 3 weeks will then be turned into the weeks of joy. And what's the 7 weeks after? That's the 7 Midas, Sheva Shabbos and Nechamta, and then we get to Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur Sukkot, which is the tshuva of those 3 weeks.
Wow.
It's same amount of days, 22 days, 21 days, 22 days. And Simchas Torah this year, October the 7th, was a day of disaster, the climax of it. So I don't know if we managed to really fix it this year. I think we're still going around this cycle again to try to fix it. Get ready for the days where those 3 weeks will be Mashiach. And those 3 levels of Seichel will be Mashiach.
Like that day was
3 lands will be ours again. Yeah.
Chochmah Bina V'das.
Moab, Ammon, and Seir.
Right.
Seir.
Interesting, because like if you think about October 7th,
Yeah.
one of the things that definitely awoken was this was potentially the elements of Chochmah Bina Vadas.
Yeah, true Musagim, right.
True
Jewish
people,
acknowledgement.
People really, on both sides of the coin,
Yeah.
Jews awoken to like their Judaism. You know, like my friend I spoke to on Friday.
Nice.
I think I told you about that, right?
If it was after our learning, then no.
I remember it was like I saw some guy from work I was talking.
Oh, that dude, yeah.
He's like a hardcore liberal.
Yeah. But when it comes down to what he's like Eretz Yisrael, Adasaf.
Yeah, and I was shocked, like shocked.
Yeah, I think that's what's happening. That people are waking up, and the levels of intellect are returning to Am Yisrael.
Then on the other side of the
but it's a painful way to get there.
Definitely painful.
Hashem did it, but it's not the way how we want to wake up.
Right.
Like it is waking us up, including myself. My son is shining right now over there in Khan Yunis. We have in mind, they say these next few weeks could be the last few weeks of the war. San Khanim need to be there. So hopefully they'll do what they have to do and they can come home, at least to their bases in Eretz Yisrael, and even though that's part of it, Eretz Yisrael, truthfully, but they won't have to be in the place of war. They can actually have a little bit more, training and doing other things, guarding, and less like more combat. Because combat's, very nerve-wracking. Every knock on the door. People were doing chesed the whole week last week. Only problem with the chesed, they knock on the door. We refer them what's up first. Because every time he knocks on the door, we don't know what that knock is. Do you understand?
Right.
We don't want to have those knocks if possible. So if anyone's listening, just what's up. Please, just what's up first. So we know you're coming. But anyway, it's in a way I'd rather have the kapara, the little moment of fear, than the actual real thing. Hashem. But the idea, and you see how the Midas translates into Ava and Yira, Pachad, and Teferis is like, is balance, and Netzach and Hod is I didn't translate Ava, love and fear. We know what it is. Chochmah Bina Das already translated as wisdom, understanding and knowledge, and to then go to the lower Midas, Netzach Hod Yisod Malchus, victory, or like sort of akshanas, like stubbornness to win, and then Hachna, humility, ability to submiss yourself, that's Hod, and then Yisod is foundation, and bringing the bris, the Shemayim V'aretz, the heaven and earth, the body and soul, a place of connection, and then synergizing, I would say, if I'm going to like Stephen Covey, I have a whole course on it. And then Malchus is kingship. That's the idea, obviously, we know of crowning Hashem and Shabbos Kodesh and all the other aspects of Megale, Hashem's will in this world. And then these are the 7 meters. So this is, we're going to learn about this. Obviously, the translations are a bit loose in English, it doesn't really do justice. But the point is to see these formulations, these Sfira Elyonim, these higher these godly emanations. In the end, they're all echad. It's very important to remind ourselves.
Right.
The Pesach of Rabbi Eliyahu. Every time we're learning the Pesach of Eliyahu, we're learning with in mind that everything's one, ultimately. You're not davening to a Sfira. You're not davening to a Tzaddik. You're davening to one Hashem. Hashem is one. Right. And these are revelations that Hashem gives us in order to relate and become more godly, not to get fixated on them. Yeah, that's another important clarification. To always keep in mind the oneness of Hashem. Shvitz Hashem Levi Tamid. Right. Avir Inyan Ki Hina Seiku Shavanefesh Hamaskil Shehu Hamaskil Kol David Shanikra B'Shem Hakma. Oh, this is like the Chabad foundational concept. Koach. If you ever listen to Gedalia Fence, is very into this.
Yeah, very into
Koach. Kamoksi Koach Alapo Shemizbonin B'Sichla Lahavin Davar LaAshroi Amukha betoch eze dav hachma amasuka b'sichla nikra bina hein av va'aim milodes avas Hashem v'yiras Hashem v'pachto ki yaseichu b'nefesh amiskales amisbonin ma'amik ma'od b'godless Hashem eichu mamalik halamim v'sav v'kalamim kula k'mei kula chashiv gedoyle naloda. It's hard to read this word. Is it nun? Yeah, it makes sense. Chashim naloda v'nis oira midas yiris it's like gives birth to and awakens. The aspect of Yira, Romus, these are big levels of Yira Shemaim. In his brain, in his mind, in his thoughts, Yira is Boshes, Migdaloiso, and he's ashamed in the greatness of Hashem Yisbach, Shein Lasof, the Tachlis, who has no end, and purpose, like in the ultimate sense, like it's just endless, eternal. With Pachad Hashem, the Libo Shuv, Yislav, Libo Bahava, Ba'azo, Kavish Ba'esh, B'chasheka, Hafesa, V'tshuka, Nefesh, Hacheka, G'dola, Eisa Baruch Hu, Klolis, Nefesh, K'tsev, K'taf Gam, Klos, and Nafshi, Choroma. And then we can just keep reading. The point is, this was an amazing just flow of MS. MS Amito. Everything here we need to learn deeply.
Yeah.
Chochmah. Let's get back to the beginning. Chochmah. Hina Seiko Nefesh Hamaskil Shehu Hamaskil Kol Dava Nikra B'Shem Chochmah. Koach.
So the Seichel is all these words have specific definitions.
Right.
Kol
Koach.
We're just going back to
what does Chochmah mean? Yeah, what does it mean? What ma means what is, and koach means the potential, koach, the strength. Yeah?
Right.
So what is the potential? So meaning a certain level of bittul. That's how I translate in Fi Chabad. It means you're like we just had in last week's parsha, Nachnu Ma. It's a famous statement about Aaron and Moshe and Aaron. Nachnu Ma. They said about themselves, what are we? It's connecting into the same concept of ma, of bittul. There's nothing. I'm nothing. It's all coming from Hashem. All my koach, all my potential.
I just want to connect the dots because he's it's almost if I had a pen here, I write it down. So we have here.
Yeah, go on. The seichel, the intellectual process.
First we have nefesh, ruach, and neshama.
Good.
The nefesh, ruach, and neshama are kind of the constants.
Yes.
Right, and then. And each Indian, the nefesh, ruach, and neshama, these are all different inyanim. The nefesh. I think we said the nefesh is the physical.
Yes.
Is the physical the?
Well, it's not. It's the soul of the physical.
Right. Yeah, I'm saying it's
nefesh bahamis, nefesh alikus. It can have a godly soul. It could be the animal soul. That's something we haven't talked about enough.
Right.
The animal soul. We can forget that part, and that's a problem. We mustn't forget we have a nefesh bahamis and we have a nefesh alikus.
Right.
Godly soul and an animal soul, and that's by the area of the nefesh. So if it's serving Hashem, great, but it can also pull us down. Yeah, we have to.
Right. So an example of an Indian of let's say nefesh would be fasting. Let's say.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Nefesh, why would you say fasting?
That's more in the physical realm, as opposed to neshama, which is in the
you mean an action? It's more of an action.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, an action, whereas the shama is more the level of machshava, of thought.
The shama is more thought. So
and ruach is more speaking. There's definitely a way of explaining.
Speaking is an Indian.
He said a great idea before. Where's your book? Because that was very helpful.
I know, I left it at home.
I'll bring it next time because I was sensing something really important over there when he said he kept defining it with this concept of intelligence, which is very up to date concept.
Emotional intelligence, spiritual intelligence, physical intelligence.
What was the other one? The virtual?
Emotional, spiritual.
That third one you just said?
I think it was physical.
Physical intelligence. Yeah, physical intelligence, body intelligence. Or something. That was the word he used.
Yeah.
Body intelligence is the world's very good at that.
Right, yeah.
Once a guy told me he's made a lot of money, done very well, and he was very involved in the body intelligence business. Yeah?
Right, that's what he said.
I came up to him, I said, maybe I can get involved. He said, it's not for your neshama. It's too timid. It's too schmutzy for your kind of soul. So he wouldn't let me get involved in it. He said, you do your high things. Yeah.
Sometimes with
emotional intelligence and then spiritual intelligence.
But that's an Indian, though. I think that there's different inyanim, and when someone, I see that with myself. It's when I'm involved too much in the inyanim of work. My nefesh really starts running the show.
Sure.
Even if it's a Shem Shemayim, which I hope it is.
Yeah. Because you're trying to make money to support your family.
To support my family, to
be able to pay for chinuch,
to
tzedakah,
help other people out.
to live in Eretz HaKodesh.
Right, exactly. Like I would not have been able to move here if not. And
I was sitting at Ari Turks' table and he had a little thing from Thank You Hashem. He said he got it from you.
yeah.
So that's Panasa. You were in New York. You probably got it from New York. Thank You Hashem.
Yeah.
So you can get me one as well if you want.
Oh, you want?
I always like these guys.
I have tons.
Great.
And then
So that's the level of nefesh.
that's nefesh. So ruach would be more in the level of speaking, which I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Ruach would be something like learning Torah, like learning Torah Shabbat Peh.
By the way, I know as much as you with all this stuff. Like we're together in this. This is high stuff. So we have to come with a certain humility that Hashem's going to help shine into us what the Ratzon Hashem is with these concepts.
Shine her into us.
Yeah, and he can shine some money in our bank also.
Okay. Some of his auras.
Yeah, the good auras. But also the auras from the Balatanya. We need to, like we said, Makashatz me. We had a whole shir on Friday about being Makashatz me to the das of Moshe Rabbeinu and everything we're doing. So there was Shlomo Katz Shir, and we were talking about it before with Kashatz me to Rabbi Nachman. The Kashatz said to Shnei Zam and Yadi. Yeah, it connects exactly what we were learning before. Like I feel like we're learning with Shlomo, like we're all like going on the same kvun. Ramina Hashem and Moshe Avdo. We're like connecting into the Kriyas Amunah. Now this week is Parshat Yisro. It's Kabbalas Torah. So Hashem's mamish giving Torah to all of Klal Yisrael. Yeah. And we're all tapping into the light of Torah Shabbat Torah Shabbat Peh. Especially the fact that Kriya is more than Zman. The fact that we're reading about Parshat Yisro, there's a light of Kabbalas Torah this week. I need to look into booking Yerushalayim. I keep forgetting. I want to go to Yerushalayim this Shabbos.
Oh yeah.
I keep forgetting to book it. I can't believe it's like everything's, thank God, is busy, and I just don't even get around to looking at any Airbnbs or nothing. I don't know if it's a mania. Maybe I'm not meant to go this week. I don't know. I want to be there by my Rebbe though, just for one Shabbos. I've been every 6 months. I want to go at least.
In Sanhedria.
If I go, I'll book probably somewhere around near the old city, but like more like there's a place called Messiah. It's like near where Rav Arush lives and all that area.
I know that area.
Shiva Bonim, because there's a nice dira there with parking and everything, and I can then walk to the Kotzov Leil Shabbos. Because I love davening there Leil Shabbos. You have to daven at the old city if you're there. Yeah. Only for one Shabbos, and then the day I go by my Rebbe and spend the day by my Rebbe Shabbos day and Shalasudas, and last time we got a nice place there, so I'm thinking of around there. But in the end, I'm open-minded. If Hashem brings me somewhere else, I'll go somewhere else.
The kinder recht Yiddish?
Yeah, Azoi. They'll go around and see all their friends, but they won't be reading Yiddish. They'll be speaking Ivrit probably, unless they come to the Rebbe. It's hard to get a lot of them. Yeah, it's hard to get a lot of my kids to come to Tona because they feel a little bit self-conscious because some of them are dressed up, some of them are not. So, one of them said he'll come put on his hat and especially even though he doesn't usually wear it anymore.
His garb.
But he'll wear it for the sake of covered the Rebbe. He has an actual garter from the Rebbe. The Rebbe gave him a garter. Yeah, so we'll bring that.
Chaim Kanievsky's Becca shirt, whatever, Streimer one for like $1 million.
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah. I hope it went to the family.
I was told it all went to tzedakah.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, well, that would be the same thing, probably, because they're probably learning Torah. No, they just learn Torah and support the yeshivas. Anyway, Nikra b'shem Chochmah, Koach. They're all tzaddikim in his family, but the Koach, the idea of this bittul. Yeah, so we're bringing out the seichel should be nefesh, hamaskil should be maskil kol davar. Remember, we had a little bit of this like in Rabbi Nachman, like when we learned the first Torah, that there's seichel in everything, in any matter
of the nefesh,
because everything comes out of Chochmah.
We already learned defined as the rational soul.
Yeah, and Hashem.
We talk about it here because he's in Yanam. So I want to make sure I'm clear on
everything comes out of this seminal point. Hashem made the world from yesh ma'ayin. This concept koach ma is yesh ma'ayin, same kind of concept. But Hashem made this yesh koach from ayin. Everything comes out from nothing, which is what's nothing? Hashem. And who's the true something? Hashem. Who's the true nothing? Us, the creation. We're nothing. Hashem is the true something. That's the true way of understanding everything again. It's a flip around. We always think, Hashem's the nothing. No, he's only nothing according to us because we just don't understand him because he seems like ayin. But really, the ayin is ani. The ayin is Ein Sof. The ayin is Adon Olam. He is the, it's all good match. He is the Ein Sof, the Adon Olam. He is the master of everything, and we are nothing. we're batal. Chochmah. I'm not. So this is just this concept in itself. If we could live this, when someone's berating us or we're having a challenge, and we just say, I'm going into the state of Chochmah right now. I'm nothing.
Right.
And then nothing. You don't take things personally. You're not an ego. You're just a creation of Hashem.
Just an Indian.
Yeah, and this is an experience of creation.
Right.
And it's a very exalted way to live, and it's a true way to live, and that's why Gedalia always brings it. He brings it in the context of letting go.
Of letting go.
Which is a very popular concept
Serenity.
nowadays. Yeah, serenity, let go, don't take it personally.
Yeah. But it's also, my only issue with that world is that you find that a lot of people just like let go, but they're not really letting go. They're just not thinking about it.
Yeah, the avoidance. And Rav Shai's Taub says that's the problem. And because he's into the addiction world,
it's like
he knows that just builds up.
Right. It's like someone is stressed out, and I'm just letting go. And you're like, nah. My wife always tells me, I'm like, I'm just surrendering it to God. Letting go. And my wife's like,
no, face it.
You're not. You're just ignoring it.
Denial. Yeah. I have a friend who's like, we have fights about this, and I say you're just in denial right now because my wife won't let me deny anything. You know? Right. She just won't. She'll catch me and she'll force me to talk about it. Like Shabbos morning, she was going into all the things, mother-in-law, like all the topics you don't want to talk about.
All the good topics.
Yeah, which would be one of the reasons why we'll go to Yerushalayim. We'll host our mother-in-law. Yeah? So, I mean, I'm in denial. And she's like, no, face it. And, I mean, that's the true level of bitter once you bring up the mother-in-law.
Yeah, that's when... That's the true ticket in every man's soul.
Becomes the mitzias on the highest level. But nevertheless, so she's pushing me to... And I have a friend who's like a chassid and a choshev person, and he's like, I say to him, you're in denial. He said, denial all the way. That's his derech. He literally holds of denial. Just push it under the carpet. None of this exists. None of my problems, financial, the hinach system. Just deny it all. And just keep being firm and firm and firm ad asaf. That's his derech. And we fight about it because I'm like calling him out in front of a bunch of chevra. I'm like, you're in denial, man. It's just, you have to face the fact. There's issues here. No, I don't have to. I can just deny it and carry on being firm and serving Hashem with his firmkeit. And that's all that matters. Serving Hashem with firmkeit. And there's like past like this. I have fights with people about this kind of stuff. But anyway, I don't agree with that. But nevertheless, and it doesn't matter what I say. We're learning here, Chochmah is not denial. It's facing life, but with bittul, with a humility. Yeah. And it's an interesting contradiction. Yeah,
like there's a seichel shabadavar.
Yeah, and that's what we had with Rabbi Nachman, that everything has a seichel in it. Everything has Chochmah all the way down to Malchus. That's what we learn. Everything has this Chochmah into all the way down to the reality of this world. That was the first Torah in Rabbi Nachman Kutumaran. So these two Torahs come together. Yeah. If you really understand Rabbi Nachman, you'll get bittul. And if you understand Chabad, you'll get bittul. But you have to really understand it to bring it into Metzias, or letting go, be'emes, not and in a true way, where you're facing your stuff and not stuffing your face, and you're not avoiding, and you're facing everything, but it's with a humility, it's with a bittul.
Who's Tanya is this?
This is a guy, David Rich. There used to be one of the base measures, but someone's taken it somewhere, I don't know.
It's claimed ownership.
Yeah, no, he said I could use it. He gave me every day I see me.
He's a kef.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I used to have it. I lost it somewhere around Yerushalayim.
This one?
Yeah, I used to walk around with it in English in front of all the Chassidish. I'd be like, my wife would be like, it's a little bit embarrassing. You're like this bad shooter walking around with this Tanya and the Chassidish Yiddish Welt. And I don't care what they think.
Yeah,
I'm learning Torah.
They're going to shoot you with the bleach gun.
Yeah, no, I'm learning Torah. My
wife told me when she was in seminary, he actually went to Geula.
On one of those.
She got shot with the bleach guns.
Oh, yeah, she's still recovering?
Yeah, she's trauma. She had trauma from
If it's on the hair, it's pretty good, because then you get like yellow.
I think she said her skirt was ruined.
Oh, shame. Yeah, but I remember when Jake used to get involved back in the day, they'd like come down there and like there'd be videos of them grabbing some guy out of a truck and beating him up, some Arab guy, or like taking a pole and smashing the windows. They'd like go full on. Yeah, the Chassidim are like, they have like a gavul of how crazy they go, and they come in there, Jake guys, and just like full on, like worse. They learn from the riots in America. They like start looting, and I'm like, what are you doing, guys? This is like illegal. If you get caught, you're like finished. And they were like, no, there was like 20 other Chassidim there, so they're not going to catch us. I said, you guys stand out a little bit, Anyway, they were fun times back in the day in their Jake.
Yeah.
And they never got caught, thank God. Shemoti Koach Alapal was Bonim Besichla. I didn't put it up on YouTube, some of them. I was like, that's risky. But I suppose no one was monitoring YouTube back then. Shemoti Koach Alapal was Bonim Besichla having David Ashro. One brings forth this concentrated idea from the potential into actions when one I don't know how to say that. Cogitates? I don't know. I don't even know that word. What does it mean?
Cogitates.
Cogitates, like cognition. Cogitates with his intellect on the seminal point and on to understand a matter fully well. So that's really important because there's the Chochmah and then there's the Bina of intellectualizing something, but not in a overly intellectual way, in a level of Bina, of understanding and building on it.
Yeah.
You're not adding in all of this like nonsense and fluff to it. You are taking this seminal point and expanding it. Purely that point. So it's pure Chochmah to Bina. Yeah? It's pure wisdom to understanding. That's the kind of thing. He talks about it here. What does it mean lengthening? Giving range to a student. So for example, we're trying to understand this literally. We're like explaining it out. We're literally doing it ourselves right now. And there's a parable. Let's provide a second parable to explain the first parable. Lengthening comes still further downwards. As scripture writes concerning King Solomon, he wrote 3,000 moshalim.
Right.
So great was Chochmah Shlomo, they had to give 3,000 parables, one to explain the basic concept, second parable to explain the first mashal, and the next one to the fourth mashal, and etc., until you get thousands of mashalim, just to get back to the original flash of wisdom.
That's really good.
So it's lengthening out, and that's what Shlomo Melech had. Chochmah Shlomo was all these mashalim of the nimshul. The nimshul is this pure ray of wisdom, this pure seminal thought of truth and understanding, and you have to constantly build on it. Chochmah to Bina, understanding, to grow. Like even the Yud, it looks to the Hey. The Shem Havai is also connected to the Esespheres. Yud is Chochmah, Hey is Bina.
Right.
Yeah, it's brought down. Abba Ve'ima. We're going to see in a second. So this idea that the Yud is this seminal point, this little point of ink, and expands out to a Hey, which is a Dalid and a Yud together.
Right.
And it's like they're building this world. Hashem formed the world with Yud and K. Yeah, these two letters. Chochmah and Bina. Yeah. Abba Ve'ima. La'amoko. And delves to its very depth. And one cognates in depth, in length and breadth. So that you see it expands outwards. Yud becomes this Dalid and Hey, and Yud becomes a Hey. Mitoch Eiz Adava Chochmah Muskul Besiklo. And it evolves which the concept here consumes in his intellect. So this you've all had those moments. I'm sure you've had in business. You're suddenly standing there. One of the worst things when you have these thoughts during Shemona Esrei or Shabbos Koach. Have a good day. Yeah, you have these moments in Shemona Esrei. Suddenly the best wise thoughts come in the day.
Yeah.
And you're like in the wrong times. Like you're trying to serve Hashem, and suddenly you get the best business ideas. Right. So then you have to say to yourself, okay, then this is a helpful thought. I needed to have this thought. I did need to have clarity. Like I was thinking about the other day. Suddenly, Shabbos, suddenly came this thought. I've never really actually invested in any SEO or any actual marketing in my own business. So maybe if people would write, say, Nissim Black, it will come up my business to book, not the manager, not Nissim's website, my website.
Right.
And I'd do that on every musician I'm connected with and have a deal with, an artist and speaker. And every time anyone goes looks for these guys, comes up my site. I'm sure that won't be so cheap, and I have to pay someone to do the SEO. SEO, like that kind of SEO marketing, I'm not such a genius at.
Yeah, me too. I don't know.
So I mean, not a little bit, but not enough to do it on a proficient level. And I have someone who can do it for me. I just used it for Zerah Shimshon now. Because whenever you write Zerah Shimshon, comes up our website, wherever it is. Like we're like the top in the SEO charts right now.
Which website?
ZerahShimshon.com. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm helping them with that. Yeah, but I didn't do the SEO. I did the media marketing and the website. I did I did the social media, but someone to actually change the SEO ranking that I needed a guide to do. Yeah.
Oh, people need.
So I could do it for my own business. I was suddenly thinking, but the only one issue is that I need money.
Right.
But I was thinking about it. When did it all come? These thoughts.
Right.
Shabbos Kodesh. Suddenly, clarity is like I never really did the full status of SEO marketing, because you always think, why didn't this take off? Well, maybe I never really gave it a full shot. I'm sure you've had businesses where it never really took off. Well, did you fully invest in it the way it needed to be to really take off? Or were you just sort of organically trying to make it work and hope for the best, which is a lot of people do. To go the full way, when do you show your full commitment to something? When you invest the dollars into it,
Right.
the shekels, whatever it is. So that's when it becomes a real, like, serious, like, push for Stadlis, when you start putting money into something. Yeah, that's when it shows that you're like, this is a real thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about that on Shabbos, and I was thinking, this is not allowed. I'm not meant to be. I don't even remember exactly where it was. I think it was on the way towards Shemon Esrei in Shachris. And I was thinking, like, right now, I need to think about Avos Hashem, Yus Hashem, Shir Sayam, Pasha Shira. I need to think about a little bit more important things. Davening for my family, for Am Yisrael. We're in a crazy situation. Who cares about my stupid business right now? It's Shabbos. Yeah.
Right.
I was thinking, oh yeah, and then I had the 48 hours. Yeah, but I'm going to use the money to like help, this and that, and I can pay for this and pay and do more chesed and help all these artists get more bookings and have all these like holy kavanas, but it's not the time for it. Right. Shut up, stop the child box, stop moving. Let me just focus on the Tanya, focus on the davening, focus on where I'm at right now. That is like, I'm saying, like, that kind of seichel has to come with focus as well. And I think that's what you were hinting about October the 7th, that it woke up Am Yisrael to focus. Like Shlomo always keeps saying this since we've had this experience. He keeps using the word focus. Because there's so much noise to constantly focus in on what is Hashem saying to us.
What's the tachlis?
Yeah, and that tachlis, no problem, needs us to have this focus on Chochmah and Bina, the seichel, the true seichel, the godly seichel, the Chabad seichel, which is what we're learning here. So interesting, he says some nice notes here. This is from, I think, David Jerome. He has like a class on Tanya, which give a shout out. Very good classes, David Jerome. And he does it on daily Tanya lessons. He mentioned the idea that Chochmah, there's no time, and Bina, there is time. And Das, there's no time limit, B'chlau. That's a good, a little nice insight. Because the Chochmah is a nekudah of a moment, a seminal moment, and Bina is building it, so it takes a moment to build that. And Das is now application where there's no limit when you can apply it. So if you're going to talk about it in reference to time, no problem. The Chochmah is the flash, Bina is the development. Think about it with you're a husband, a man, you're an Abba. You have a thought. Now you just want to go run with that. But your wife says, wait a minute, but that means time. That means time away from me, time away from the kids. Right. That means, and she starts listing up money away and saying, but invest in my business. But wait, that money could have gone to the family. Why are you putting in the business? Yeah? Right. Oh, so I can make more money to go back to the family more. Yeah, but right now we need the money right now to pay for this and pay for that. And it becomes this balance. That's one of the reasons probably we never got around to it. So I'm just saying, it's you're always going to have that other person who's going to get into the details. Mm-hmm. That's the Bina. That's the Ima. She's going to flesh it out. Yeah. The seminal thought now gets fleshed out. And then the next part is Das, application, bringing it into reality, bringing it to the midas. And that's what we're going to learn now. Lamuko, and the delve into its very depths, so that's the Bina. Mitoch eizadava hochma musko b'siklo, and it evolves from a concept which he conceived in his intellect, that seminal thought, that flash of wisdom, Nikra Bina, and this is called Bina, which develops it, elucidates it, brings it out, builds a binyan. Literally, the word bina means building. Yeah, v'heim, heim, bless you. Av v'heim, hamos, ahavas Hashem, v'yiraso fachta. And then that's when we started flying in the words. The ahava and yira go shoresh, are rooted back in av v'heim. Yeah, what do we call a woman? Geveret. She's gibor. Yeah, bina. Bina is more on the side of the gevura. And Chochmah is more on the side of Chesed.
Interesting.
Ava. Yeah.
And we're saying that's more, Bina's, that's more from the woman's side?
Yeah, because it gives birth to love and fear. Chochmah and Bina. The father and mother give birth. I mean, they're both interactive. They go back and forth. Right. But Yira means awe. For the most part, is intellectually pakad denotes a dread which is felt emotion in one's heart. That's why at the beginning of the chapter, where the emotions are enumerated, explained in a general way, pakad precedes yira. For pakad, the feeling of dread is in one heart. It's a true emotion, the intellectual yira. Here, however, when dealing with emotions, they are born from intellect. Yira precedes pakad. But only after the emotion is first formed in the mind, which state is yira, does it descend to the heart as pakad. Right. So if we're formulating emotions from the mind, the intellect of ava and yira, of love and fear, then it gives birth to the emotions of desiring something or having a dread towards something. Right. Now this is a huge concept in Chabad. as well as the Chochmah, Koach. For an ancient and rational deeply contemplates and immerses itself exceedingly in the greatness of Hashem. We have to now think about the Gadlus Hashem, the Gadlus Aboyre, the greatness of Hashem. That is one of the, how do you love Hashem? So the Prophet ﷺ brings down, one is by Avos Torah, the thing of the greatness of Torah, but the Chassidim emphasize not just the greatness of Torah, but the greatness of Hashem.
Right.
Yeah, you have to be inspired on Hashem.
Actual greatness, which is how he's everything.
Yeah, Gadlus Hashem. Eichu Memalek Olamim. And now we get to this concept of Sovakon, a good niggin from Zusha. You sing it. Yeah?
I think it's a Michael Shapiro, whatever it's called.
Yeah, I think it's from him, and I think it's also very much connected to Rav Dov Pinson, because that's their Rebbe, who they learn from. So he's very much into these like holy Zachin of Malek Olamin and Sovev Kolamin. So Malek, he fills all the worlds, and Sovev Kolamin. You understand these concepts? Sort of. The idea that Hashem fills the worlds and surrounds all the worlds.
Yeah, he illuminates the worlds.
Yeah, so one is how God animates everything, like it's more like panimi, and Sovev is more surrounding. I mean, I can say these concepts, but you have to really learn it again and again until we really understand what these two things.
Yeah.
Like the way I'd say Malek Kolamin, we like tefillin, putting on tefillin, it's all panimi, and then Sovev Kolamin would be like putting on a talus, surrounding yourself, or makif. Right. I don't know if that's a good. I'm just throwing it out there, but I don't know if I've seen that even. This makes sense to me. My basic understanding of these deep concepts.
I gotta go early.
Early today.
Yeah. I want to figure out. We got to figure out. Maybe we'll start doing like 10 minutes earlier or something.
Great.
Just because my daughter's school.
Yeah.
My daughter's school said they're upset that she shows up late every day now.
Okay.
She starts at 8, which I think.
Great. So let's we'll stop in 2 minutes then.
Okay.
So 7:55 we have to stop. Hard stop. 2 minutes.
Yeah. Okay.
Kula kamei kula chashiv. We'll just try to understand what we just read before.
Okay.
How the principle of creation is considered as naught, nolda, nitzayra, midas, yiras, romus, remocha, v'machshavta. Remember, we read this before. That the remama so. Now this is a high level of yira. This awe of divine management to be born and rounds one's mind and thought by contemplating, by the God's greatness. How in the presence of all creation is considered as naught. Remember, I said this. How everything kula chashiv garnished. Everything's nothing. Ain, and who's the true Yesh Hashem? And you think about the greatness of Hashem, and then it's moreover this romus, this awe. Yeah. Romus is a high yira. Romus is a high level yira. But mocha in your brain and in your thoughts. This is Yiddishkeit. We need to think like a Yid, to have these high levels of awareness of Hashem that that give birth to Midas, holy Midas of Ava and Yira, of love and fear, in down here in this world, in emotions and speech and action. Yira, this Bosh's begodness Yisbarach, to fear and be humble for His blessed greatness, she'ein la sof v'tachlis, which is without end or limit. There's no end or limit. It's eternal. With Pachad Hashem belibo, and they'll be born in dread of God in our heart, not scared of Hamas or anything. All the fears that are out there, in Machshamam, you need to be scared of only Hashem. That's the way to elevate all the yira in the world. So to fear only Hashem. Shav Yisrael libo v'hava v'azah k'rish b'yesh, and this will give birth to attribute of Chesed, expressed in love of God. So his heart will glow with an intense love for Hashem, b'chasheka face of a true nefesh akoka, with a passionate desire and longing and a yearning soul. The godless Ein Sof Baruch Hu. There's beautiful words here. Fiery flames and passion and so on. What is it all about? Towards the greatness of Ein Sof. We're all directed towards Hashem. And we'll just end off with these two beautiful psukim today and begin the week with some real chizuk. The kolas and nefesh ksiv nekasva, to make sure I say it right. The kasva.
What does the word aza mean?
Aza. It's like azus. Intense. Fire. Strength. Yeah. These are beautiful psukim from Tehillim, that the kalas nafesh is like a consuming passion of the soul. Kolsa means to destroy, like destroying the soul for Hashem, like desiring only Hashem, nothing else in this world. My soul is thirsting for you, Hashem. These are all psukim, the David Melech, he was living this. Beautiful songs. Sama lecha nafshi, the Rebbe. This is like bringing alive these tunes. You see the sponiness in that second part.
Yeah, on the Chochmah album, they have the recording of the Rebbe singing it.
Yeah, it blows your mind.
Oh, it's crazy. It's so trippy.
Yeah, you feel it. Even just
I get
bringing
into
it
like
up.
a state of Vekas whenever I listen to that.
Yeah, that's when you hear a tzaddik sing a song like that. That's like game over.
Yeah.
It's alright. Like bye.
Yeah.
You're just busy with loving Hashem.
Wow.
Someone who misoda eish nefesh alakir. So there's something comes from the element of fire in the divine soul.
They should have that playing on the loudspeakers.
And we could just keep going. I mean, this is so beautiful now.
The Rebbe singing. Should play it in Aza.
Yeah. Fire for Hashem, maybe they have already, because there's a lot of Chabad doing their
Maybe
shlichus.
tomorrow we'll start 5-10 minutes earlier.
Amazing. I'll be heavily in it. Yeah, I'm going to add on a little bit to my alarm clock.
My wife is.
Already, where are you?
Where are you?
Say Kochmah.
I'll see you.
Have a good one.